Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world. Pull up a chair. It's time to get down to the business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. You're going to hear a lot of noise in relation to what you see on your screen. I was one of the very first people from day one. I said, well, you can start the clock ticking when this is going to be over. And you're going to have a lot of noise and chatter from people's washed up baby daddies, bum dudes who all they do is create problems. They've never fixed anything. You're going to have more noise from washed up baby mamas, chicks who allowed themselves to get taken in by the dumbest and densest. And it's about time that you had somebody with some sense to speak about it. Now, I was among the very first people from the minute that I saw this so-called marriage happen. I said, well, Tweedledum and Tweedledummer, you can start the clock ticking until this blows up. And sure enough, here we are. I don't take schadenfreude. I don't take joy in these things. I do want to be correct, but I don't take joy in this kind of thing happening here, even amongst two individuals like this. But you have to say you saw this coming, and I just got a real simple question I want to start off this program by asking, because there are lessons from this that everybody can learn. There are lessons from this that everybody can take away. So, first and foremost, I have a basic question for the women out there first. Ladies, simple question I want to ask you here. When this is the best type of dude you can pull, when you think that this is husband material, can you just be honest enough to admit to yourself that, being a wife ain't really for you? Can you just be honest enough with yourself to admit that? Can you be honest enough to admit to yourself that maybe being a side chick, being somebody's jump off, are you willing to admit that you can't be nothing to nobody but their jump off? Let me just get right to it. How many of you have looked in the mirror and come to grips with that reality that this is who you are? Because you see, a wife acts one type of way, but the chick who you just see you when I come through, she behaves in public a different type of way. When you don't demand that the woman that you are with behave herself in a different manner. See, when she was single and running around with her gals in that immature stage, that was one thing. But if she wants to connect herself to you, she can't walk out here and the way she presents herself to the world on everything is butt booty naked. And ladies, there's a very basic lesson I want you to understand right here. See, y'all thought it was funny and cute and everything to be talking about wet body parts, but it's not a joke now, is it? You know, because let's be very, very clear. A bunch of people are talking about this. All the newspapers are writing about it. All these folks have a whole lot to say about it. And there's a point I want you to understand. It's not funny when it's your life. It's really not funny when it's your life. Getting clowned by a bunch of people, that ain't really the business. That's not really that great when you're looking up and lo and be damn hold, this is your life. And a whole bunch of people are out here making all types of comments, all types of videos, all types of criticisms. It's not funny now. It's not funny when that occurs. There's a lot I'm going to cover here tonight because I want you to understand this is not being salacious and this is not for entertainment purposes. Cardi B is representative of the average female today. Cardi was just able to make it to millionaire status, but let's just be very, very clear. Cardi B is not an exception to the rule. She is indicative. She is maybe an extreme example, but she is a typical example of the typical female today, or at the very least what they aspire to. At the very least what they aspire to. Understand that. Now, what I want to do here is a lot of people have written a lot of articles about this. I want to read from a Complex magazine. Well, no, let me read from Yahoo. And we can just go with page 6 or wherever, but I'm going to start with Yahoo here. And I want to read from theirs to you really quickly. It's a brief article by Taryn Ryder. It says, Cardi B has filed for divorce from Offset after nearly 3 years of marriage, according to online records viewed by Yahoo Entertainment. I don't even want to acknowledge this video, the W.A. what the hell video, because if y'all are upset about cuties on Netflix, you should have been bouncing off the damn walls about this. The rapper filed paperwork in Fulton County, Georgia on Tuesday, and the split doesn't appear to be amicable. The filing states it's a contested divorce, which means the parties cannot agree on one or more of the issues involved. Cardi, real name Belcalis Marlenis Almanzar, is listed as the plaintiff, while Offset, Kiari Kendrell Cephas, is listed as the defendant. Issues could range from custody to property division. The rappers share 2-year-old daughter Culture. A hearing has been set for November 4th. According to TMZ, Cardi is seeking primary physical custody as well as legal custody of Culture. She also wants spousal support. So she wants alimony. The Grammy winner states the two are currently separated and have no intention of getting back together. So, she wants custody of the child and she wants alimony. Actually, from what I was reading, she wants spousal support and child support. So between all of these here, some of these reports are conflicting because TMZ only said, as far as I was seeing here, she only said child support on TMZ. Yahoo is saying spousal support. So she at least wants child support and maybe wants spousal support. All this happened today, so we'll wait for this to be finally clear. Like I say, there seems to be a little bit of conflict. But the bottom line is she's a multi-millionaire who's made a bunch of songs about how much money she got, but when it's time to divorce, all of a sudden, she wants to be taken care of. And there are lessons in this. There are lessons in this for people. And we're going to go over that because I want you to see that a lot of you are actually living these things out in your lives and not acknowledging that. So what is the first lesson that we want to learn from this? First question you got to ask yourself is, who are the producers? Who are the top tier upper class men knocking themselves over to wife up Cardi B? That's the first question you should have been asking 3 years ago. Who was hurting themselves to wife that up? Who was hurting themselves to get with her? Who was really trying to do that? I'm talking about of the top tier men. She's supposedly rolling in those circles. Supposedly rolling in those circles, and next thing you know, where are the moguls? Where are the guys who don't look like freaking juvenile delinquents and cartoon characters? Offset looks like a straight up juvenile delinquent. Every time you see him, he's riding a big wheel, literally, for those of you who saw the Mountain Dew commercials. And this points out a real fundamental psychological flaw and deficiency in a lot of modern females, they go look for the most immature male they can find. They don't go looking for a man who's going to be a man and lead. They go looking for the most backward, shiftless, childlike, an individual who is her intellectual inferior. You notice that's a string that runs through baby mamas. It doesn't matter how dumb she is, the dude she got pregnant by is always dumber and always immature. He might not be more broke than she is, but he's a guy that she's going to be able to wrangle. And lo and behold, Cardi B ain't the sharpest tool in the shed, but she was able to dominate this Negro. She got him eaten out of her hand. How many fellas listen to me right now, even if you didn't know Cardi B was a stripper, even if she had never been on Love and Hip Hop or whatever, any of that, how many of you would have said to yourselves, oh, that's the chick I want? How many guys out there who are making six figures or more, even if you didn't know all this about her, looking at everything else about her, from the moment she opens up her mouth to the way that she comports herself in her profession, how many of you are saying to yourself, yeah, that's wifey material?